I've hit the road on the hunt for the coolest, most hard-to-find vintage bargains, and the trail led me to a smelly, wet, moldy, falling down porch. Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm Denise, and I'm a vintage reseller. I have shops on eBay and Etsy, and I will leave the links to those shops in the description below. Before we get started, I'd like to thank everybody that has recently subscribed, liked, and certainly those folks that have left a comment. The feedback is really, really nice to get, and I really do appreciate it. Today, I'll show you how I turned $35 into $550 flipping vintage bedding with just a little bit of patience and a lot of elbow grease. Okay, let's get started. As many of you know, I go to extremes by driving miles in the rain, meeting people in parking lots, and even snagging items off porches. I do this all to get the most in-demand, desirable vintage merchandise for my Etsy and eBay stores. And when it comes to textiles, I'll scrub, I'll wash, I'll even boil some of the nastiest bedding no one else will touch. The other day, I drove 40 miles round trip in the rain and ended up on this moldy old porch, all for 2 boxes of Simply Shabby bedding I bought on Marketplace for $35. Look, the next day I headed straight to the laundromat with both boxes because everything smelled like patchouli oil. Oil-based perfumes often infuse into the fibers of fabric and are nearly impossible to get out completely. Okay, so now the question is, can I turn this smelly, stinky bedding into the beauties that I know they can be? I've done it before. Remember the king-size patchwork chenille Simply Shabby quilt that I bought for $30 and flipped within a couple of days for $225? That's the goal here. Let's see if I can do it. First, I threw each piece in the wash because they reeked. I don't use bleach, but I do use concentrated detergent pads, and I double up on those. And my secret weapon is Dawn dishwashing liquid. I smell each piece after I take it out of the washer. It smells great, and from there I line dry each piece. Okay, so we are back from the laundromat, and we're going to just take a little bit of an inventory of what we have and what we came back with. By the way, these things turned out great. So let's start with this here. I'll do a top-down shot, which is the Simply Shabby Pink 2-ply Plush Satin Trim Blanket. And this is a full. And then we have the Twin Patchwork Chenille Quilt. And I've had a lot of really great luck with these patchwork chenille quilts. Very desirable. My personal favorite here is the Belle Hydrangea long panels, curtain panels. These are absolutely gorgeous. And then we have the pillowcase from the Blush Beauty collection, and there was only one. As it turns out, I have another one that I bought somewhere else, so I'm going to combine those when I go to sell those. So this is the inventory of what we ended up getting. Now let's talk about listing this and getting this stuff sold. So let's get to the fun part, the money part of this story. In total, I paid $35 for everything, so let's just keep it simple and say each of the 4 listable items cost $8.75 each. I ended up listing the Belle Hydrangea long curtain panels for $165.50. I listed the Pink Plush Satin Blanket for $195.50, the Patchwork Chenille Twin Quilt for $140.50, and the pair of Plush or Blush Beauty standard pillowcases for $49.50 for the pair. I've received offers on the curtain panels and the plush blanket, which I rejected as too low. All items are being, quote, watched on eBay, and I know all of these items are very desirable. So let's do the tally. I paid $35 for the entire lot, and the listings total about $550. So that is not a bad day's work. But remember, I had to wash, spot check, scrub, drive, and so on to make this happen. So a lot of work goes into this. All right. Well, we made lemons out of lemonade and managed to get another really gross, smelly, disgusting, dirty, um, fabric bedding kind of thing. We managed to get that cleaned up and take some pretty pictures, get it listed, and get pieces of it sold. So I'll keep you updated on that one. So before I go, I wanted to tell you about this here. It is all old albums and from the 1970s. Like, for example, there's Chicago here. This one is Peter Lorre. I kind of like that one. There's a Barbara Streisand, and I've listed a couple of these already. And Barbara Streisand has sold, Tea for the Tillerman, and a Dolly Parton has sold. But anyway, I got these when I went to recycling. They have a swap shop, and this was under a whole bunch of gross stuff. And, they've been in somebody's basement. And so keep an eye out, because I'm not an expert at albums. Here's Tom Jones. I'm not an expert on albums, and there are people that are really on vinyl, right? The vinyl experts. But I do kind of have a little way that I manage to get the musty smell out of the albums before I list them. By the way, I got this for no money. So anything that I sell these on is just a bonus for me. All right. Well, I'm really hoping that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you folks next time.